And finally, you get the opportunity to go heart to heart. Now, generally speaking, this doesn't happen in the lobby of the church, but it could. And it really will only happen if you drill down from mouth to mouth, through head to head, and into heart to heart. People will not share what's in their heart with you until they know that they are safe with you. And they will know that they're safe with you based on the data that you give them that show that you are an accepting person. You don't have to agree with somebody to accept their position. And you don't need to try and convey to them that what they're saying is right, but saying that you understand how they drew that conclusion and got to that position, and you can explore with them how they got to where they are. And when you do that on a head-to-head basis, then they have the chance, somebody will say, well, to be honest with you. Really, that's a really interesting phrase, isn't it? Because at the mouth-to-mouth, it's not so frank. At head-to-head, it might not be frank, and you might not be, and I suggest that the first ought not to be particularly frank with people. But at the heart-to-heart level, people will say, not just as a matter of a phrase, but to be honest with you, and they'll share something that's deeper inside of them. And when you hear that, be shock-proof. Accept it, as disgusting as it might be because of their situation. Just say, tell me more, and listen carefully. You know, a paid counselor or psychologist or psychiatrist has skill in sometimes with the psychiatric level in understanding the neurotransmitters in the brain and the various drugs that are possible. But essentially, they're good at what they do because they've developed skills of observation. They observe the body language, they observe the tone that people have, and they learn to gently probe into what's going on in the other person's life at a level where the questions aren't too invasive, but the person, because they're at the level of heart to heart, they're willing to answer that question and never get to that it's none of your business kind of approach that will happen when people withdraw from you. Heart to heart conversations start in the lobby of the church at times, but they go onward into the other conversations that you can have, where you get together by yourself with a person. It could even be in an official counseling room in a church building. It could be at a different table at the restaurant, but probably it's going to be when you are by yourself with that person, perhaps in their home, perhaps going for a walk with them. Develop more conversations at the mouth-to-mouth level, and you will get a shorter set of conversations at the head-to-head level, and then some will drill down into the heart-to-heart level. Stay at it. Sometimes it takes time, and at the heart-to-heart level, then you have the opportunity to talk about the eternal things in the most comfortable possible way. You can start that at the mouth-to-mouth level, and sometimes it will drill down, but that's the exception. The rule is that people will only let you into their inner lives if they know, like, and trust you, and that you've earned that respect at the heart-to-heart level.